Yeah, what's up? Hey, what's up? This disciple Marchello Currence, also known as Spiritual Outlaw. This video is going to be about America has a witchcraft military they're using against God's people. The reason why I'm gonna call it that, you call it whatever you want to call it, Illuminati, Freemasons, and all of that. They've been using the American community. They've been using the people, and they've been using people that move like military. And I'm smart enough to know that because, see, one of the first ways, which they're stupid, if they were smarter, they wouldn't make these mistakes. The first way you know someone's using how do I say this, a military mindset is that you see that they're practicing synchronicity. Synchronicity is when you walk outside and someone's promptly right outside. When you turn the corner and there's some little girl standing right there. When you go to the store, there's somebody right where you were going to get something to eat. And so it's synchronicity that you have to understand as a subject. This is how we spot our enemies because their synchronicity is too sterile and clean to be true. And some are so arrogant, they want you to know. So you're dealing with people that's either really stupid or they're really arrogant or in a combination of both. And that's where you get uh, this witchcraft military that's kind of like moving like military because they have been uh, groomed by these washed up ex-military people. They've been groomed by these active military and Freemason members, and they don't think we understand synchronicity and military timing. When stuff is done in a military fashion, okay? So when things are done in a military fashion, even if it's weak and it's pathetic, like in their case, I mean, Trump is almost gonna die. Okay, I'm just showing you where we are. Um, Even though their works are not up to par with us, they it still need to be noted that they're using military type operations against you. Okay, they're using them in the stores, in the grocery stores. They're using them at the phone place where you pay your phone bill. Okay, they're using them at the bodegas when you go to the bodegas or the corner stores in the South. We say the corner stores. They're using them in the department stores, in the malls, everywhere you go. They're even using delivery guys. The pizza guy is even working with these people. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. The pizza guy, the pizza girl, all of them are used as a type of synchronicity to trigger a certain result. They could use gay, lesbian girls if they want to tempt you with lesbians. They could use lesbian pizza girls to give you the pizza. No pun intended. And there's an insinuation behind it. And if you're not aware on how much they're using this community and how much the Freemasons are using this community, then you won't think, how is that even possible that they can have because that's the network that they're using. That's the manipulation. You got to come to terms with it. If you don't come to terms with it, you're going to think that you're tripping. But more times than not, God's people never really think we tripping. We don't never really think we tripping because we are highly intuitive to what is real And we know that it's real, that they're what they're doing. We don't question ourselves. We don't question our sanity. We know it's real, you know. And so, with that being said, it's just understanding, man. People play games. People play games, and it's nobody's fault but theirs. It's nobody's fault but theirs. And now they're trying to kiss butts. To the high-ranking people on God's side, they're going to try to manipulate you to be on their sides. That's another one of their methods, and you have to let people know you look. I got free agency. If you did spend money with some type of community or the government to think you bought me, all you did was curse yourself. You can't purchase me. I'm purchased by the blood of Jesus. I'm covered in the blood of Jesus. You can't buy me. You can't buy what Jesus bought with his blood. And once I received him, that's the case. I've been bought by the blood of Jesus Christ the Messiah. Yes, you are Hamashiach. So if you spent money, listen, you spent it for nothing. And if you try to think you're going to get your money's worth by just doing stuff because you spent money and you don't want to just go away because you spent too much money, you're going to be cursed away. That's what's going to happen. I'm telling you, because you got arrogant people like that. Well, we're going to get our money's worth. We're going to do something. No, all right. Okay. Look, I'm not living a sad song, sad story. Them people are. We on top. We're mighty. I'm happy today. I'm blessed. I'm not living a sad song's life because I didn't make certain decisions. It's all about decisions. I didn't make the decisions they made. That's why God is not letting me be unhappy. That's why he's not letting me be beat up and depressed. That's their energy. That's because of the decisions that they made. I don't share in their energy. That's why they have to be separated from us. Because now it's coming to the point where they got suicidal energy, they depressed and all that. I don't need that around me. I didn't live to where I should be depressed or I should be suicidal. I didn't live that way. So God is not going to let me live subject to people around suicidal people. That got to go. I don't care what they do. I don't care where they go. They got to go away from me. Because after all, you put yourself in that circumstance where you even feel like that. You made decisions, a series of decisions that put you in a situation to where you even feel suicidal and all this depressed stuff. It's because of your own decisions. You know what I'm saying? I don't raise, like I like to say, I don't raise grown men and women. If you put yourself in that situation, you know what I'm saying? God don't raise no grown men and women either in this sense. To where you're just going to do what you want to do. And then, you get to play with our society like it's a video game. You have to suffer for that. You have to suffer for that. And that's the way of the world. That's the way how it is. Okay? Listen, if you're only a child is going to think you can play with America and play with the community and play with the global community and cause COVID-19 and all this stuff to happen because of all that you've done. And you think that you're going to just waltz away from it? No. No. No, you haven't even got your punishment yet. It hasn't happened. Not fully. No. Ain't no way around it. Ain't no way around it. It don't matter who lives or dies. You're going to still suffer the same way you're supposed to suffer. That's what I'm trying to show you. I'm not saying I'm going to die, but it wouldn't matter what the case may be. You're still going to suffer for what you've done. See, only a simple-minded person think there's some way out. What way out? How? You got to deal with God. He's not on your side. You tripping. No, you on some drugs. Pills or something. Or the drug of the culture. You on the drug of the culture, ain't you? Yes, you are. You on the drug of the culture. The culture is your drug of choice, ain't it? The culture is your vice, ain't it? That's your vice, ain't it? Yes. Ain't no way around it. Ain't no way around it. And they can't coordinate with my energy. Like my energy is like always been above their energy. Now they just studying to get on my lane and get in my level and way of thinking, and that ain't gonna work. You ain't gonna never be over here thinking like we think. You ain't gonna never be on these wavelengths. No, you ain't gonna never be like this. I can't stand wannabes. I can't stand copycats. They ain't gonna never be like us, man. That's just like so. That's we're just too far gone. We're just too far gone. And you could fast like us. You could do whatever you want to do. But if you're not connected to God and you disrespecting us, and you can say you did what you could and all of this, but you didn't listen to me and get the money, then God is gonna hold you responsible for that. I don't care about nobody else. I'm talking about me. I told you to get the money. You didn't do it, did you? Okay, you lose. I don't listen. God is gonna tell you to do what you got to do by my prophet. You made it wrong with my prophet. You come to my prophet and you make it right. That's how this works. Not some magical prayer that you learn from some American Christians. I know how you think. You think some magical prayer is gonna get you all out of this situation, and it's not. Because God is gonna look at the practice, how long you've been playing games with me. Years. You ain't coming out of that with no magical prayer. You tripping. God is not going to let you. I know how God works. He is not going to let you come out of there because it's no sure way of knowing that your behavior has changed. It's no sure way of knowing. Because you said a magical prayer. It's no sure way of knowing. It's no sure way of knowing. So how do you know? How would God know to put you through a series of tests even after you said what you said? Even after you said, God forgive me, God is going to put someone like you through a series of testings. I promise you that. And ain't no way, listen, it's no way in the world you coming out of that for free. You ain't. I don't care who you talk to. I don't care how they try to tell you about the goodness of God and the love of God. Ain't no way you're going to be doing what you've been doing for X amount of time and you're going to just waltz out of that like it had never happened. After you done played with the community and played with the prophet and played with God's community and other Christians and the whole country had to suffer and the whole world had to suffer and you just going to waltz out of that? That's a negative. No, you're not. You're a child and you're thinking to even think something like that. You listen, if you understand karma, I'm pretty sure these dummies think they do. You know, ain't no way in the world you getting around that, man. You know, ain't no way in the world. Even if you came to God, you're going to be sent through a series of tests that you might not pass. And it's designed by God to see where your heart really is. And when God tests you, listen, God tests you like no other entity. You get tested like never before, buddy. That's what you look. That's the only thing that's coming. Either way, testing like never before, or death. You ain't walking out of that for free, little buddy. I'm sorry to tell you. I don't know what world you live in. You ain't walking out of that for free. I don't care what the police tell you. I don't care what. Who else? FBI, CIA. I don't care what they tell you. I don't care what nobody tell you. I don't care what the whole globe, the whole world tell you. You ain't coming out of this for free. That's what it is. You're a child in your thinking. You thought it was me, it's you. You proved that it's you. You ain't coming out of this for free. You crazy. It's the last 5 days of summer. We got 5 more days. I'm glad this summer is over. I'm glad summer is over. It's going to be a hard winter for these people. Winter is coming. Winter is coming. I'm telling you at the end of the summer, winter is coming, suckers. Winter is coming. Everybody know that saying. That's off Game of Thrones. Winter is coming, buddy. It sure is. And listen, you see the summer that it was. You see the summer that it was, Donald Trump going through what he going through, almost got killed 2 times. They said this second dude was out there on the property, around the property for 12 hours. 12 hours. This is why you cannot practice cruelty, because cruelty will be practiced to you. And here's the thing, like I said before, many times before, you have in the real spiritual mathematics, the real spiritual mathematics is this, in this situation specifically, with the gang stalking God's people, and innocent people. You know what the true karma would be? The true reciprocity will be? The true fruition? It's going to be, I'm going to tell you what it's going to be. It's going to be that innocent people suffer because of what you've done to innocent people on God's side. Not people that were involved, these wild and crazy gang stalkers. No. They already expect to suffer. The right karma is for you to see innocent people suffer, like God's people sat back and watched other innocent people that were Christians suffer. Christians watched innocent Christians suffer, didn't they? Okay, so we need to see innocent Americans suffer. And guess what? Karma's gonna pick the very ones you love the most and make them suffer for something that you did. That's karma. That's what we're looking for. We don't care about you no more. We feel that you've used too many Americans to where we're just focused on America now. We ain't focused on you. That's why, man, come on. Can you imagine me subjecting myself? Is that a word? Subjecting? Yeah, I guess you say it like that. Innocent people do that. I mean, smart people do that all the time. Intelligent people do that all the time. We make up words, right? Or try to get it out how we want to get it out. you think, uh, you think I'm going to be subjected? I'm going to be subjecting. Let me say this. I'm going to be subjecting innocent people to problems, and nothing happens in return. It's got. Look, I don't care how cruel you think you are. We're going to give you cruelty back. It's people that think they're so tough and bad. That's going to be humiliated. It's already being humiliated. It's already being humiliated. Where people that think they're so smart and so this and that, we're destroying. Look at what's happening to all these people. And if you just jump, I'ma just stab you. If I got to. If you just jump, I'ma just stab you to death. Okay? I ain't playing no games. I'm not playing any games, and I'm going to continue to advance my weapons. If somebody give me a gun, I sure will take it. That's why I'm open. Yeah. Man, I'm not looking at this law system that sit around and watch all of this stuff happen. You think I care about what they think about what I'm doing? Legally or illegally? I don't illegally or legally. I don't care what they think. You think you're gonna be subjecting us to all kind of foolishness and nothing happens to you? You think you're gonna be subjecting us to all types of things and for your entertainment? See, they think they're Rome, don't they? Like the Roman Colosseums. Man, you are not even 25% of Rome. How? Why? Just because of your military and technology? You're not Rome. They thought they was the Roman Colosseum, didn't they? Yes, they did. How'd that work out for you, buddy? You feel like you're the Roman Colosseum? You feel like you're gladiators now? Do the Illuminati feel like they're gladiators? We called it, didn't we? They think they're Romans and the gladiators. After all these years, how you feel now? I got you. I got you good. Listen, it's been all working out since COVID. It's our time. Since COVID, it's been our time. We're sliding on you since COVID. Since COVID-19, we've been riding on America. It's our time. I hope you had your fun before COVID. Because it's our time now, buddy. You had plenty of years. See, people that's just catching up, they had years and years before COVID. They had years and years. It's our time now, buddy. Christians need to see you suffer. I know, I know. You know what you thought? Christians was going to see us suffer. And that's that. That's it. No. You played with somebody who understands spiritual warfare. And if I didn't, this outcome wouldn't happen. You know why it's happening? You know why it already happened and we won already? Because I understand spiritual warfare. You thought I was going to pray for you and sing Kumbaya? Do it look like I sung Kumbaya? Do it look like I'm the Kumbaya type of person? No, I want you to get a good look at me. Do I look like I sang Kumbaya? Do I look like, with this spear in my hand, do I look like I sang Kumbaya, bruh? Do I look like I sang Kumbaya? I don't sing Kumbaya, bruh. You understand me? No, I want you to know that. Because you might think that's the image of who I am, some pitiful, pathetic image of somebody who is and the reason why you're pathetic is because you're ignorant of God's word. Jesus Christ said himself, those who offend my people shall be drowned in the depths of the sea. I'm paraphrasing. He said that. But the word of God also says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, which means all this can be destroyed, what we could do to these people if you don't know something. If you don't know something, they can win. You as Christians got to stop acting like you don't know the word of God. Stop choosing these nice scriptures. Use the whole word of God and let these people suffer for what they've done. Stop trying to look like a good guy and realize we're not, you're in war right now. Stop trying to look like some nice, sweet person. Ain't no time for that. It's time to get it done what needs to be done. How about that? Just like being at a job. You can't smile all the time on the job, can you? You got to get in and dig in and get it to work. Ain't no time to be smiling. Some boss men might not even like that. You're smiling more than you're working, buddy. They might throw a little joke out there like that. You're smiling more than you're working. You're working more at that smile than you are working on the clock, buddy. I don't care about being nice. I don't care what they think about us. They look at all they saying. Who cares at this point? Who cares what they think at this point? Do you care? I don't. They marrying children. You care? It's a whole different world. They marrying children. It's over. We win. Man, you're marrying children. You was up to 45 states of child marriage. That's all this whole country, man. That's almost of everything you see here. 45 states of child marriage, bro. That's almost that's 5 states away from the whole country. Man, you think I care about what you think. And keep in mind, when they had 45 states of child marriage, Each state of those 45 states have had at least one child marriage, which means 45 states have had child marriage law, a child marriage case. At least one child marriage case is in each one of those 45 states that had it, which means most of the country has practiced child marriage. Either way it goes. Boom, that's a 7 out. That's a 7 now. That's a 7 now. It's what it is. People playing games, and they thought we were just gonna die pitiful. They thought we was gonna go out pitiful. That's what they thought. They thought we was gonna be persecuted, prosecuted, and killed and executed. Persecuted, prosecuted, executed. That's what they thought we was gonna be. How they feel about that now? God don't play no games, bro. He'll hold everything. Listen, I know one thing about my Lord. He'll make sure you get what you deserve. Okay? He'll make sure you get it. And he'll make sure everybody see you get it. When he got his people that's working spiritual warfare, listen, buddy, it's nothing that we can't get done. I'm not playing with people that already wronged my ancestors anyway. You wronged my ancestors as a country. I don't care nothing about you. The white man can't say the same thing. And Hispanic cannot say the same thing. And Latino cannot say the same thing. You know who only can say this? It's black people. You wronged my ancestor. Hispanic can't tell you that. What a Hispanic gonna say? You wronged my ancestor. Latino say, America wronged my ancestor. They gonna look at you like you crazy. What are you talking about, man? Wronged your ancestor? Who? When? In the war over the hill by the river. Them kind of wars, right? The war over the hill by the river. Some unknown war over the hill by the river. That's when your ancestors got wrong, wasn't it? You see the difference between you and I? Do you see the difference? Your ancestors was not wronged like ours was. So it's nothing for me to switch up on this country. That's what people don't realize. It was nothing. It was nothing. Hispanics gonna hold on. We love this country. Keep the enchiladas coming. Keep them enchiladas coming. Keep them enchiladas coming. Keep them enchiladas coming, huh? Sometimes apologies are not good enough. If you haven't learned anything from this situation, from using this witchcraft military, using this timing, all this stuff that you're using against our heads, against our minds, this psychological war, all this witchcraft stuff that you're using, all in the stores, you trying to see. I'm smart enough to know that you think Christians are one of you. You think we're one of you. We're not one of you. Why? Because you practice spirituality. I'm not one of you. I'm a prophet of God. I'm not one of you. You tripping. You tripping hard, buddy. You think because you got spirituality, we're one big family. We wanted to show you who you are. I've been knew who I was. You're an idiot. You're a moron. You didn't need to show me nothing about who I am when I'm filled with the Holy Ghost. I'm right. I called it, right? They put you in situations, these so-called Illuminati members, are some big spiritual community like X-Men, like mutants, spiritual mutants that have these little gifts and things, and they put you in situations where they're gang stalking you, and if you're great enough, they'll try to show you, and they'll try to play it like they were just trying to show you who you was. Well, we were trying to reveal it to you who you are. I hit it right on the head, didn't I? How do you think I know that? Because I'm gonna sense what the real issue is in the atmosphere. I'm gonna sense what it really is. You can't hide it from me. And guess what? We're not one big spiritual family. See, in the spiritual world, it's just like the natural world. You got different countries, you got different communities. And the truth is, unlike the physical family, the spiritual family is less connected, I guess you could say. There's a spiritual world that is less connected than the natural world because we can't mingle with anyone practicing divination. We can't mingle. You can mingle with other races of people if you want to. Spiritually, we cannot mingle with any other people. We can't mingle with no people that practice tarot cards and wear crystals around their necks and beads around their necks and all kind of witchcraft. And it's a whole spiritual community that think that we're people like me is part of them. I just need to see it. Am I right or wrong? I just need to figure it. I just need to be awakened. You're a fool. I've already been awakened. I awakened you. If anything, I awakened you. What you talking about? I awakened you to America marrying children. What you awakened me to, buddy? What did you awaken me to? You can't be serious. You can't be serious. I awakened you to America marrying children, suckers. How did you awaken me? I come from North Carolina. There's nothing but spirituality down there. It's like New Orleans. For people that don't know about North Carolina, when it comes to witchcraft and spirituality, we are like New Orleans. The only difference is they use more voodoo and it just got a reputation for it, and it just started a chain reaction of witches and warlocks wanting to be in that area, living down there. We practice in as a collectively speaking, North Carolina practices, the Carolinas in general practices witchcraft just like Louisiana. In fact, those two states right there would probably be the top. The top in the top five. North Carolina, South Carolina, and Louisiana. Not Alabama. I'm sure there's witchcraft in Alabama. there's witchcraft in every state. But not Florida. I know they got all those Haitians down there, so I know voodoo is all down there in Florida. I already know. But it's still not Louisiana, New Orleans, is it? No, it's not. It's just certain places were overtaken by witchcraft. It's New Orleans, in North Carolina, and South Carolina. Those three places. If you don't know, if you're Hispanic or Latino and you don't know, you know what I'm saying? Because listen, in their culture, they may not even ever ponder certain things like this, where witchcraft is the heightened. Where witchcraft is heightened in America, they might not ever think about stuff like that. They may not ever care. So I grew up around witchcraft. Witchcraft don't mean nothing to me. That's why I keep telling y'all suckers. And the beautiful thing is my offering just got to New Orleans yesterday. New Orleans in South Carolina. St. Helena's Island. St. Helena Island is in South Carolina, and it's one of the most spiritual places in the country because of Dr. Buzzard that practiced hoodoo, and he was in St. Helena Island, South Carolina. Yeah. hmm So I decided to hook up with get with a ministry as far as spiritual warfare that is down in St. Helena Island, South Carolina, where Dr. Buzzard was at, who used to practice hoodoo. For you don't for you who do not know who Dr. Buzzard is, you got some Hispanic and Latinos that don't know who Dr. Buzzard is. Dr. Buzzard, like a buzzard, like a vulture, a buzzard. Dr. Buzzard was a black a black man that practiced hoodoo, low country voodoo. He was known all across the country. That's how popular he was. The police wanted to go to spiritual war with Dr. Buzzard. The police, literally. And it was kind of like jealousy, man, because, he was getting people off. He would go to the courtrooms and chew on the roots and get people off, and all kind of stuff would happen right there in the courthouse. The police got tired of it. This one sheriff got tired of it, and he decided to go to war with Dr. Buzzard. So him and Dr. Buzzard went to war after he couldn't get a charge on. He wanted to get a charge of practicing medicine without a license because based on his hoodoo. This old cop was trying to get excuse me. He was trying to get a malpractice charge on Dr. Buzzard. He couldn't get it, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't technically practicing medicine, I guess you could say. And so he decided to go to war with him. Sound like a hater, don't he? He couldn't stop him with whatever he was doing. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't get no charges on him. He know he wasn't doing no medicine. So then he decided to use witchcraft itself. Sound like a hater, don't it? Especially when he started using witchcraft itself. But anyway, this policeman went to war with Dr. Buzzard. This is the real story of Dr. Buzzard down in St. Helena Island, where I'm sending money down there right now. It just arrived yesterday. I'm on a whole nother lane, bro, when it comes to this spirituality. I send money to New Orleans, down in Louisiana, down there in the French Quarters where Marie Laveau was born. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So Dr. Buzzard was going to war with this policeman. I think his name was Buford. Last name was Buford or something. Anyway, they going back and forth. The policeman now is using witchcraft. Not investigating this dude. He's putting witchcraft against Dr. Buzzard. This man already practiced witchcraft. Like I said, he was getting people off. Like for crimes. He would go in the courtroom, chew the root, get people off. All kinds of physical stuff will happen to people while they were testifying and all of that, and they would just get the cases thrown out. How I'm looking at the history it was stuff that could not be explained, which is one of the definitions of voodoo, is something that can't be explained, right? So Um, Dr. Buzzard and this policeman is going back and forth with each other, right? And Dr. Buzzard's son dies. Dr. Buzzard's son dies, and he drowns off. His car goes off a causeway, is what they said, and it went into the water, and his son died. That's when Dr. Buzzard called for a truce. Now let's double park right there. Even Dr. Buzzard knows when you have lost too much. Dr. Buzzard could have been, especially being a black man, especially being that it was the police, he could have been arrogant and cocky and said, well, I'm going to give him my best. I'm going to turn into the giant right now. Watch what happens next. He didn't do that, did he? See, there is some people that do not know you can't just use witchcraft recklessly. You can't just use it like because you hate somebody. You can't just use it because you want to fight somebody. You want to do something. You jealous of somebody, or you want to be a witchcraft crip or a witchcraft blood, and you doing witchcraft 187s that, and we don't see no manifestations. But you doing witchcraft 187s. Okay, bro. Witchcraft 187s, but no manifestations. Okay. Even Dr. Buzzard knew when he lost too much. Let that be a lesson to these witchcraft people. Because Dr. Buzzard was way more higher ranking than you. He had clientele. He had people coming to him. It's one thing to be some little rogue witch or rogue warlock that's walking around doing it like you're doing it around here. This dude was so good and effective with manifestations that he was getting money for it. People say they choose not to. I don't think you can. You know why? Because I don't see no manifestations. You ain't manifesting nothing on me. I'm better. I'm bigger than ever. What you talking about? You have not affected me. That's a lie. That's a lie. That is a lie. You have not affected me at all, bro. In fact, I'm stronger than I've ever been. What are you talking about? I just came off a 3-week fast, fasted for 3 weeks last month. Seems like he's pretty strong to me. Within the past 5-6 months, 5-6 weeks, he's been fasting. He fasted for 3 weeks. Mishaps is gonna happen. This man has been this sober. He hasn't been this sober in 16 years. I haven't been this sober in 16 years. How you affecting me, bro? Well, I ain't going out and drinking. I ain't going out and smoking. Can't be too stressed out. Because I proved I would do that if I was. And God was still with me, wasn't he? See, I got a real relationship with God. Now you see, don't you? That's a 7 hour. Make you feel good when you realize your relationship with God, even through all the smoking and the drinking. Glory to God. You still realize he with you. Let out a howl, don't you? Let out a howl. That's something a North Carolina boy would say. Hey, man. Dr. Buzzard knew when it was time to fold, bruh. When it was time to fold. These witchcraft people, I guarantee you, you are not more higher ranking than Dr. Buzzard. No, you're not. And even I'm showing you your own people. I'm showing you your masters. Even he knew when it was time to fold because he lost his son and that was enough. His son died off some causeway, car going off some water, going into the water. That was because the police was using witchcraft. sometimes it can. I'm not saying that the sheriff targeted his son. He probably didn't, because after all, he was a cop. He probably had a little bit of morality, I guess you could say, integrity, I guess you could say. He probably wasn't bringing his son into the mix of this situation. But witchcraft, when the spirits can't get who they want, think about it. They can go down the bloodline. I believe that. I've heard that in so many words. That if they can't get the intended person, they can go through the bloodline. Those spirits are not going to want to come back without anything done. You sent them out. They're going to want to try to find and get somebody. They're going to get the weakest link. That's why I don't know, even in my own particular situation, if my brother was killed 5 months ago. Yep. April, May, June, July, August. It's gonna be 6 months this already. Half a year already. That's crazy. It's gonna be half a year next this month. September. This is gonna be 6 months. Half a year since he been killed. And I don't know if that was witchcraft that backfired and went through my bloodline and killed him. But unlike Dr. Buzzard, I'm not calling no truce. I think that could have happened. I think that's what it could have been. Because it was around the time when I started working with New Orleans and I heard these little dumb witches, oh, he's getting with New Orleans. Oh, that's a problem. He's going to be with New Orleans. We're done. And not too much longer after that, I mean, in days' time, where I made the transaction to New Orleans, my brother died like the same month I made the transaction. And I had already heard the witches and warlocks getting desperate because I'm now connected with New Orleans, because New Orleans is a different ball game. When it comes to this spirituality, people get put to death. Real things happen, permanent things happen, life changing things happen. That's why they were scared of this New Orleans connection. That's why they're still scared of it. But it's happening anyway. It's already happening. I sent down there to him. I done sent him over 100, and I'm sending money. I sent more money, and it just got to him yesterday. This is one of the books that the man down in New Orleans sent me. So this is him, Robert Presson. That's Robert Presson. Good guy. So he's down in New Orleans, and he sent me this book, Jesus, Living for Jesus in the Last Days. So he sent me this book, and it's actually the only book I got in this apartment. I don't. You would think, wow, you have no books? No. Funny story, right? But yeah, this is the only book I have, and this comes from New Orleans. This is from New Orleans, and so that's the ministry that I'm connected with now. Like, I'm working with people in New Orleans. I'm working with Saint Helena Island. I advise real Christians that are very serious about their walk with God to do the same thing to and well, that when it comes to spiritual warfare, you need to connect to ministries that are in the places where concentrate witchcraft is at. Like, I hooked up with a ministry down there where Dr. Buzzard was born. Where Dr. Buzzard was born, down in St. Helena Island, right? I hooked up with a ministry down there. And I hooked up with a ministry in New Orleans in the French Quarter where Marie Laveau was born, right? Where she was born, right? And So I work with a ministry that was in the French Quarter. I could have went to the hood because that's what I've been doing in other cities. Like I went to Chicago. I'm working with Southside Chicago, down by Old Block in Tuckerville. You got Tuckerville and Old Block. I'm working with a ministry in Chicago, in Southside Chicago, that's down on LaSalle Street, South LaSalle Street. Y'all probably say South LaSalle Street, South LaSalle Street. Okay, South LaSalle Street. That's Southside, right? Chicago, right? Okay. So I'm working with a ministry down there. I'm working with Chicago, Southside Chicago. I'm working with DC. I'm working with Detroit. I'm working with East LA with the California Mexicans. So I'm working with Puerto Rico and Cuba. You know what I'm saying? I send money to Cuba. So I'm working with Cuba too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm out the country with Cuba. I'm working. Puerto Rico is still considered America, but it's way back there in the back of the islands. You know what I'm saying? So I done sent money out there to Puerto Rico. That's why all of this is happening. You know what I'm saying? I'm not playing any games, man. I'm working with the Mexicans, the Cubans, and the Puerto Ricans, and a Brazilian man that's down in Orlando. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working with a lot of spirituality. Safe to say, I'm working with a lot of spirituality. And so that's why all of this is happening. I had to make sure I got some Hispanic and Latinos on my team because of this neighborhood I'm living in, where they got like Hispanic and Latinos using brujeria and these brujos and brujas in this neighborhood. I had to make sure that I got that tight. So I got like some California Mexicans in East LA, and they understand everything I'm going through here. Then I got another Brazilian ministry in Orlando that I'm working with, right? And like I said, I'm working with Puerto Rico as well, and I'm working with Cuba as well. So you know, when I'm working with four different ethnicities of Hispanic concerning Hispanic and Latinos: Mexican, Cuban, Brazilian, and Puerto Rican. So and I'm working with them. So that's the spirituality I'm working with when it comes to Hispanic and Latino. Four different ethnicities, four that I'm active with. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, that being said, I deal with God's people. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can never make me racist and miss heaven because of you. You don't matter enough. It's you that I have the problem with, not Hispanic and Latinos. It's you. People in East Amherst, Queens, New York. It's you. That's what it is. No different than Mexicans having problem with other Mexicans. It happens all the time. No different than the Puerto Ricans have problems with other Puerto Ricans. It ain't no different. It's a specific, right? It ain't got nothing to do. And Puerto Ricans ain't gonna say I hate all Puerto Ricans. No, I hate them Puerto Ricans. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, to me, it just happened to be a community. So in my situation, so that's what it is, man. So, but I'm working with four different ethnicities in concerning Hispanic and Latino. Like I said, Brazilian, Puerto Rican, Cuban, and Mexican. You know what I'm saying? So out, and that's California Mexicans out in East LA. So you know, I ain't gonna be out here slipping. If that, I'm gonna use the counter. You know what I'm saying? So I got them for uh for the Hispanic and Latino community that's using witchcraft against me. I got them. I got four different ethnicities. You know what I'm saying? Cuba. I'm sending money to Cuba. You know what I'm saying? So I can actually say people know me. People know of me there in Cuba. So you know, that's why I'm saying I'm no lame. I'm nobody to play with, bro. That's what I'm trying to show them, man. I'm working with people out in Cuba and everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not playing any games, bro. That's why the witchcraft that they use, and even with the police and all of that. So, like I said, back with Dr. Buzzard. Did I finish the story with Dr. Buzzard? I think I did. Like, yeah, he called a truce and everything, and ultimately his son-in-law got into being into hoodoo. But Marie Laveau is the next thing I wanted to say. Marie Laveau is down in New Orleans, and people that don't know her, she's considered the queen of voodoo. She was a mulatto woman. She was mixed with black and white, black and French, I would say precisely. She was black and French, Creole, and if I'm not mistaken, and she is considered the queen of voodoo, right? And and basically, man, uh, she had the greatest reputation for high levels of spirituality that was manifesting. You know what I'm saying? So people would come from all around the country to see Marie Laveau, and she did hair. She was a beautician. She was considered a religious leader, and she was considered a, a person that was into community affairs in New Orleans, in Louisiana. She was, like I said, she was born in the French Quarter. If you know New Orleans, you know what area. I mean, most people, all those buildings and those little restaurants and all of that, that's kind of the French Quarter. That's usually like with Mardi Gras and all of that. That's usually, if I'm not mistaken, that happens in the French Quarter, right? Okay. So you've seen, actually, when you think about New Orleans, you think about the French Quarter, because Mardi Gras is in the French Quarter. I'm pretty sure. Mardi Gras in the French Quarter. Yeah, yeah. So yep. So the French Quarter is where it happens. Hmm. So basically, I'm sending money down in the area Mardi Gras is, where Mardi Gras is. So you don't even have to be from New Orleans to know about Mardi Gras. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you know about that. Okay, so Marie Laveau was born down there, where in French Quarter, in the French Quarter. Okay, I'm working with a ministry down there. I'm working with spiritual warriors down there, and since I have been, my brother was killed. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's out of I think that's corny people that uh I'm not saying I'm not gonna get results. I already know I am. I already have been, but it's a corny reaction to try to do some extra magic because this person is going down to New Orleans. I think it's corny to me, because I think whatever you did as a result of that, you should have been doing that. That's why it's corny. You see what I'm saying? You can't make that up. Okay, because whatever you added to the situation, you should have been did that if you was really trying to win. Right or wrong. You see what I'm saying? If you use some new witchcraft, right? Why you ain't been used it? So I got with New Orleans and you decide to use more. That's corny. That's what I'm trying to show you. You see how I see that? You see how I see that? That's corny to me, bro. So anyway, it's been 6 months since my brother got shot and killed. It was a home invasion. You know what I'm saying? I do think it was witchcraft. I think so. I think so. I think so. If it wasn't the Illuminati directly sending someone to him down there in Charlotte, which I'm not leaving. I'm leaving the open door for that perspective, or it could have been Freemasons sending somebody to them down there, one between them two, and just wayward American community too, and and witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? Because I hooked up with New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? It's just like now they realize what level I'm on, because that's you can't go no higher than that. Like as far as spirituality and people who understand spirituality and who work with spirituality, you can't go no higher than than New Orleans. And it's just people that want to show and they corny and they just think corny. They behave in a corny way. You know what I'm saying? It's just like they use what they use and they do what they do in corny fashions. That's how you know they corny, because they use even witchcraft in a corny way. And with that being said, like just using witchcraft in this type of way where you're like playing this gang banging game, like we gangs, and you can't use witchcraft like that. That's why it all backfired. That's why it's all going. That's why the country's going to hell. You know what I'm saying? Because they use witchcraft like game bangers. You can't use witchcraft like you thugging, or it is not the same format. It's not. I don't care how hard maybe you don't want to be seen as just some weirdo and you trying to make it look cool. You know what I'm saying? But and how you practice it, but at the end of the day, ain't no witch gonna tell you to use witchcraft like you a thug, like you Tupac. You can't use no witchcraft like you Pop. You'll tear this whole country up, man. Trying to use witchcraft like Suge Knight. Hey, you trying to use witchcraft like Suge Knight, bruh. You can't use witchcraft like Suge Knight, suckers. You can't be out here like Suge Knight with witchcraft. You gonna get your butt handed to you, cause guess what's gonna happen. You gonna first of all, let's establish why you can't do that with me, because I am a prophet. Many witches and warlocks will rarely even come across somebody like me in their lifetime. Okay? And if they do, they want to be as far as the east as the west from somebody like me. They don't want no. They don't even want to use witchcraft in my district. No. That's how that now see, that's a mature witch. They'll leave town for somebody like me. And you see all this stuff is happening. You see the Middle East. You see all this stuff. Donald Trump almost getting his head blown off twice. The witch will leave town for somebody like me, sucker. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They'll leave town for somebody like me. They ain't gonna play with me. Not, and I'm manifesting like this, and I'm releasing prophecies, and they're coming to pass. Ain't nobody gonna play with me for that. Ain't nobody gonna play with me. They're not. That's what I'm trying to show you. And so for anybody that did that, you you don't know the rules and the regulations of the spiritual world. But Dr. Buzzard is a perfect example. That cop kept using witchcraft. His son died. Dr. Buzzard's son died. He called a truce because it backfired. Well, in that case, it went. I believe that witchcraft went into the bloodline. It went into his family, those connected to that blood, and his son was the closest one. Something to that effect, if that makes sense. And because that's what you care about, your kids.